What's up, subscribers? Sunjutsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and talk about how sexy will Warhammer look on release. Now, a lot of games that we get from Total War either look like complete madness on release, or they look very good. One of the examples is Medieval 2. It looked very good on release. I believe Empire also looked very well from the videos that I saw on release. Now we have games like Rome 2 who just looked like utter chaos on release. And so I wanted to go ahead and talk about this because of the last video that we got showing the greenskins versus Bretonia. The video itself, they have, well, Creative Assembly has actually put out a response to the video itself and some questions people asked, including the way it looked. And I wanted to go ahead and address that and talk about that as well. But at the same time, I just wanted to go ahead and give you my personal opinion. I talked about this in the video, my review, that I felt like I'm hoping that the game looks a lot more polished than that. Darren had stated that it still needs some work. And yeah, it does need some work, but in that particular battle, it just looked, yes, it did look a little brown and mushy, and things were clipping, and it just looked off compared to some of the other videos that we've seen. Now, the videos that we've seen so far, I would say the best one, gameplay wise, or my favorite one at least, is Ambush at Thundering Falls, because it shows you each individual unit, just like in this video, in the beginning when it does the general speeches, and the units themselves look amazing, look beautiful. And I felt like at Thundering Falls, the dwarf units look a little bit more crisp. Once you go into the actual battle, the colors and the way the units look and the graphics don't really change. That's why I was saying that probably the Bretonia versus Greenskin battle was not a scenario style battle, even though they said it was a quest battle. And then we have the Ambush at Thundering Falls and Blackfire Pass, which more than likely are more of a scenario style battles. And that's why it looked a lot more polished, because Thundering Falls looked fantastic. It was very vibrant. The environment was dynamic. There was different colors everywhere. There wasn't anything that looked like it was concerning like it did in this battle. Now, I'm not saying this battle was bad. I actually kind of enjoyed it. There are some questions that I still had, especially about the cavalry charging in head on, very much reminiscent of Shogun 2. But overall, I liked the battle itself. I just thought that the graphics themselves looked a little and the ones in Thundering Falls looked really good, and actually the one in Blackfire Pass looked really good as well. So that's why I was a little confused on why this one looked a little subpar. Now, let me go ahead and read you their response real quick and talking about it. So if you guys actually want to read it for yourself, I'll put the link of this this blog post, in the description below. That way you guys can go ahead and read it for yourselves. But what they say about graphics: so some of you have noticed that YouTube compression hasn't helped some parts of the video. We're looking into what we can do about that in the future. Others have commented on the brownness. Thing is, there's a number of different lighting setups that can affect a battle depending on the environment, which army is defending, and the weather is, and what the weather is like, and a little bit of random variation. It all affects how the units look against the battlefield. That lighting isn't final either, so they can still change the things about the lighting, which I feel like they should. I feel like Warhammer needs to not be as brown and gray and dismal looking as Attila. In my opinion, I don't think it should be that dismal looking. Even early Rome 2 was kind of dismal looking as well. It needs to be vibrant, like Rome 1, Shogun 2, things like that. Very vibrant, very eccentric, I feel like. Not too overly, but like enough where you can see the different factions and feel like you're in a different faction. Shogun 2 had very vibrant, different looking, different colors for each faction, but relatively all the factions were the same. If you play as any of the factions in Shogun 2 fighting against each other, it still feels like you're playing a different faction on its own. So that's where I'm getting at with this. So in that, they still say it's not final, but you know, we'll see. Now they say, as for anti-aliasing, in order of increasing quality, there are options for no AA, MLAA, MSAA, times 2, MSAA times 4, and MSAA times 8. Dare and capture the battle using MLAA. That's from our work in progress build, and we will be releasing official specs soon. So it wasn't the best, I guess, graphic wise, anti-aliasing wise, that they could have made that battle. And they also said the compression rates for the video itself also made the battle look muddy. So that's something to look out for as well. I will probably be playing this game if my rig doesn't explode. I'll probably be playing it on on the highest caliber, ultra settings, everything, just to test it out. And from there, I'll test down to see exactly where's the best fit for my computer. But I do like their response. I like that they're being more transparent. They're being transparent on the video. They're being transparent after the fact. I'm just hoping that on release we don't get a lot of these, graphical glitches on these battles, because that would be very disheartening. Now, this brings me to my other kind of point in this video, which is about they're talking about this. They're trying to be transparent, but then they post this picture because people are worried that there's no knights, because they didn't see no knights for the Bretonia build, and I already thought there was going to be no knights because this is the early battles. But it shows a picture, a beautiful picture of knights charging into the screen toward the player with knights on Pegasus in the air, like inside a town. It just looks so dynamic, so awesome, so amazing. The graphics look amazing, but it's like, I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like some of these pictures, I mean, they look amazing, they look so awesome, and maybe this is at the highest settings possible, ultra settings, maximum ultra settings, but I feel like these pictures are so much more better looking than the actual game so far, in my opinion. Even going back to Ambush at Thundering Falls, Blackfire Pass, yes, these pictures look a lot better. Even the pictures for the Chaos Hordes or the Chaos Warriors, they look better than, say, even I feel like this in-engine cinematic looked, in my opinion. They look more detailed. They have more detail to them. Maybe the build itself doesn't allow for the recording to happen with ultra settings, and they can take still shots like this with ultra settings. Maybe these pictures are pictures that are kind of touched up after the fact. I like to lean more towards my earlier thought, where this, like, they really can't capture this high level of detail right now because the game isn't 100% yet, and they want to wait to make sure it's 100% before they start capturing things like that. Because I mean, again, we saw that battle and there were still little graphical glitches and stuff, so the game is 100% not polished yet. It needs to be polished before it releases, at least. If it has a couple of patches that need to be done in the first month or so, fine, but please make sure the patches are out before you start throwing DLCs down our throats. But still, guys, we need to have a polished game before the game releases. But hopefully, I'm hoping with my rig, because my rig is pretty decent, I'm hoping that at ultra settings it looks like this picture. This picture is beautiful. Hopefully the game looks like this, because if it does, that's gonna be amazing. I mean, it looks like Total War. The guys' faces, the way they're on their horses, the way I know Total War to look, looks like Total War. Just like graphically, this looks better than the in-engine videos that we've been seeing since the game has been officially announced. Those are my opinions, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know. Do you guys think the game, like, how do you guys think the game looks like so far compared to the screenshots, compared to the in-engine theatrical cinematics and the in-engine gameplay? What is your total feel on how this game is going to look on release, and the different variations of the way it looks from screenshot to video? Let me know in the comment section below. Let's see if we can get over 50 likes for this picture, I think, because this picture is beautiful. I think that this is probably the best picture. I even posted it on there on the Total War site. This is the best picture that they have come up with for any faction that I can remember, honestly. For any of the factions in Rome 2, Attila, and any faction that has been released, or any picture that has been released so far for Warhammer. This is my favorite one. I don't know why. It just looks so awesome. I mean, I've been waiting so long to get knights. We got knights charging at the screen. They all have different colors. They look awesome. We have Pegasus knights. What? All right, I'm geeking out right now. But anyway, guys, let me know. Let's get 50 likes for this picture. And as always, guys, if you like what you see here and you'd like to see more, you'd like to get more up-to-date Total War Warhammer news, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become a subscriber today. Let's get to 15,000 subscribers strong. It's gonna be Sunjutsu signing off. What's up, subscribers? Sunjutsu here, and today I wanted to go ahead and talk about how sexy will Warhammer look on release. Now, a lot of games that we get from Total War either look like complete out this because of the last video that we got showing the greenskins versus Bretonia. The video itself, they have, well, Creative Assembly has actually put out a response to the video itself and some questions people asked, including the way it looked, and I wanted to go ahead and address that and talk about that as well. But at the same time, I just wanted to go ahead and give you my personal madness on release, or they look very, very good. One of the examples is Medieval 2. It looked very, very good on release. I believe Empire also looked very, very well from the videos that I saw on release. Now we have games like Rome 2 who just looked like utter chaos on release. And so I wanted to go ahead and talk about to some of the other videos that we've seen. Now, the videos that we've seen so far, I would say the best one gameplay wise, or my favorite one at least, is Ambush at Thundering Falls, because it shows you each individual unit, just like in this video in the beginning when it does the general speeches, and the units themselves look amazing, look beautiful. And the opinion, I talked about this in the video, my review, that I felt like I'm hoping that the game looks a lot more polished than that. Darren had stated that it still needs some work, and yeah, it does need some work, but in that particular battle it just looked, yes, it did look a little brown and mushy and things were clipping and it just looked off compared